So you need more information on how to go out and pick the right market for your real estate from long distance? Well, in this video, I'm gonna share 5 more tips on how you can do that. Coming up. Hey there, it's Billy with Keep on Cash Flow, helping you to grow your money and your mindset so that you can get to the lifestyle that you really want to lead faster. Now on this channel, we're gonna be sharing weekly tips and strategy videos just like this. So if it's your first time here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel? And you're gonna wanna make sure that you check out the links and the comments in the section below, because week after week, the comments get better and better and the community continues to grow. But as for today, I wanna revisit one of the topics that we talked about before, because based on your comments and your feedback, you really needed another level below. So we talked about before the ways to go out and pick a market, and basically looked at things like demographics, economics, and the political environment. But you really wanted to understand more. And so because I've been answering that question, I thought, well, you know what, why don't we just drill down a little bit more and give you some real specifics. Now, these are some of the things that I actually use with my company when we go out to look for a market. Of course, you're gonna look at a number of different markets, but I specifically wanna share 5 things with you that have made a very big difference in how successful we have been at creating the right types of markets, right? And this is also making an assumption that, number one, you're very clear on the type of real estate investor you are. Meaning, are you someone who's looking for big piles of cash, or are you someone who's looking for more cash flow? But either way, these 5 tips are gonna help you to get closer to your goals and get closer to your goals faster. The first thing that I wanna talk to you about is really something that maybe you probably don't think about all the time, but that's location. And why do I say location? Specifically, think about that you're going to be using this as a rental property or a multifamily rental property, but being able to be in a place where you typically would like to also visit is something that could be very important to you. For instance, if you don't really like the cold weather, but you'd like to be able to maybe travel long distance to see your property every once in a while, that may or may not be a good thing. So think about, where is the geographic location of the property? The second thing that I want to talk to you about is, what is the population? Are you someone who's going to really be looking in larger markets? Do you prefer a strategy that's going to be more in secondary markets? And based on that, you want to look at a population. For instance, one of the things that I like to look at always is that there is a population of a minimum of 300,000 people. Just because based on the type of company that I have, the type of investors that we work with, it's really one of the key important factors when we look at population. There are also some people that like to look below 300,000 and their businesses are set up and they're very successful at that. But think about also to the size of the population when you're looking to purchase a multifamily property. The third thing is something you've probably heard people talk about, but I just want to reiterate how important it is, and that's jobs. You really want to think about jobs and what types of jobs are being created in a specific market, because that's also going to be one of the things that helps you to understand how much potential risk could be associated with that particular location. If jobs are being created, that will probably mean that people are moving to that specific area. If people are moving to that specific area, it probably means that they're going to need a place to live. And if they need a place to live and you're a rental entrepreneur or landlord, that's a very good thing for you. And also too, within the jobs, what are the types of jobs that are there? The more that the jobs are stable, that's also a very good thing for you as an investor. On the opposite side of that, when you look at jobs, the fourth thing that I want to talk to you about is, what is the level of unemployment? Because that's also something that's very important. For instance, if there are lots of jobs, but there are job opportunities, but high unemployment because either the skill set is not right or the jobs are moving, they were there and they moved somewhere else, that's something that you also need to be very aware of. And also check what are the trends in terms of the unemployment. And then the last thing that I want to leave you with at number 5, and this probably is related to some of the things we've talked about already, but what are the big key industries and companies that are in a specific city? Once again, this goes back and it helps you to understand the key industries, the key companies, because typically the larger the company and based on the type of operations that they have, it will help in terms of longevity. The longer that a large company is in a particular area, it helps you to understand from a longer perspective how you can mitigate or how you can minimize the amount of risk that would be associated with a specific property. So let me just give you a recap on these 5 tips or 5 areas that you really want to look at when you're selecting a market. And that's number 1, talked about the location, also talked about the population, talked about the jobs, talked about the unemployment, and then lastly, wanted to talk to you about the key companies and key industries that are in a specific market. So as you know, I love to leave you with a question of the day. And today's question of the day is the following. Of the 5 things that we've talked about, which was the newest thing for you, and how can you actually go out, use that new bit of information to help you with your next investment property? So this is Billy Keels. That's my 2 cents for today. And as always, hasta la próxima.